yesterday, and me and RJ were on the couch, and he was like,
Are you rolling? We're rolling.
Yeah, we're
and he was like, I'm bored.
I'm bored.
And he was like, well, better get naked. And then
Who said that?
RJ, and then our roommate Nick, I was like, yo, Nick, want to get naked with us? And then I remembered that Nick is the person that will actually come out naked and take
He
it
does his own nude
seriously.
scenes?
Huh?
He does his own nude scenes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he the
Well,
theater one?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
the one
he
when
does
we're
do
doing
that.
Insanity, where RJ was like, you're wearing too much clothes, when he's just watching, he strips down naked, and he's sitting there like doing jumping
Doing
jacks in the living room naked.
Insanity
Yeah.
Wow.
And so anyway, I was really nervous that he was going to come out naked, and I was like, oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Now
You
the
brought this
question
upon
is,
us.
is this the beginning of the show?
I think so.
Or
I
do we
think
have
should
this?
include- Yeah, why not? If you like to
Yeah.
get naked in front of your friends, workout. Hey.
You know, you say
It
that.
was a mistake. Thankfully, I was mostly watching or like playing video games.
Yes.
So he was the one who was really kind of stuck with the.
I was doing the workout with him.
Oh, you were.
It's like trying to dodge ball sweat as it's flying
I'm
in the
like,
air.
I'm playing, and I
Wow.
kind of like out of the corner of my eye see it, but he's the one who's stuck like right next
You're
to
like,
me.
you guys are kind of distracting over there.
Well, the best part was finally when we started doing push-ups, Nick was real scared of getting rug burn on his, his dong, and so he like went and did one push, and he's like, oh, nope, and so then he put his underwear back on, and that was the.
Bold strategy.
But it was so.
And that's just a glimpse into our lives.
Yep. That's sounds like you guys got a fun atmosphere over there.
Oh yeah,
Keep it
fun.
real,
That's what
keep
we're
it
gonna
real,
describe it
keep
as.
Real raw.
Anyway, hi guys.
Welcome to the next topic. We
Hey.
are here today to discuss nude sports. And, no, I'm just kidding, but
Are there nude sports?
That
I
could
don't
be.
know, probably.
I know there's lingerie football, but that's not exactly.
That's close. That's close.
We could change that.
Do they still do that?
I don't know.
Lingerie football?
I don't know. I know they do regular football, like NFL, still.
Oh, they do? That
Yeah.
wasn't banned?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. You think it's
They're doing their best to make it as little fun as possible.
Well, the NFL. It's the no fun league.
Exactly.
That's so cute.
But we probably should try not to get too into sports.
Yeah,
Okay, so today we're
NFL
talking about
season's
swimming.
I'm pretty sure.
Synchronized swimming.
Synchronized
The
swimming.
best
Naked.
sport of all.
Yeah.
No, that's
Olympic
ridiculous.
sport.
Oh.
Some of these sports they have in the Olympics really shouldn't be
Dude,
sport.
they're like, well, in the X Games, video games was added. I was like,
Yeah.
how is that? What?
It's like ESPN showing
Because
poker.
X,
Nice.
This is the Entertainment Sports Network. I guess entertainment would follow,
I guess.
suit that.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever watched poker and been entertained.
Unless if you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Or you know.
But he did say
somebody.
watched.
Yeah, that's like watching golf. Like for me, it's
I have the hardest time watching golf.
No.
Like my dad, I'll sit down and watch sports
You
with
gotta
him.
be older.
Yeah, like no, because we'll be watching sports and he's like, "Oh, hold on, golf's on. I gotta check it." I'm like,
oh, that's my cue. I gotta go.
It's like they're sitting there like waiting, doing their practice, and I'm like, "Basketball's on. Switch the channel." Like,
It is sad when I have to agree with what you just said
And you hate
because
basketball.
I hate basketball.
You do?
I think I would literally watch anything other
What?
than basketball
Any other
except
sport?
for golf.
I might be able to come up with horse racing, like Kentucky Derby and all that.
See,
Okay, I don't really care about that either.
That's
There's
fun to
some- There's
watch.
some I just don't like. Baseball, I can't get into baseball unless it's
baseball's
at the game.
fun.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I love playing it
Mhm.
because I grew up playing it, and I love watching it in person. I'm not a big fan of watching it on TV.
It's too much.
Really, the only sport I like watching is football. Though.
Yeah, that's our national.
But speaking of
pastime.
watching TV,
yeah,
oh, that's a beautiful transition.
segue.
this
Ooh.
guy here,
Ooh,
Has-
blaming me.
We're always blaming
well,
you.
you know,
This is your fault.
Just-
I don't even know what your fault is. I'm just-
A lot of things are my fault. It's just
I was playing video games the other day. He walks in, just goes onto Netflix and brings up a show called Skin Wars. I'm like,
Oh,
What is
God.
this?
Oh God,
this is
Tell me about
ridiculous.
this, Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Here we are a season later, and I'm like hooked on the
You're
show
hooked on
too.
he's like, we'll see. And I watched the first season, so they have a
How many
spin-off show of it
seasons
too.
do they have?
It's called Paint Wars, and what it is Root, like he does it, and they have people from Skin Wars that as coaches, and what they do is they take like paint like artists of different kinds that have never skin painted before, and they
Turn
do,
it into
but
that.
it's just like a one episode challenge. Like so, you have people. Each person gets like each of the judges. So like the first one, Natalie, when the first season was on, and two other people. And they have two people that they're helping, and these people are good artists, but they've never done skin stuff. And then they have to pick one of the two, and then like each of them have a person that goes over the final round. And at the final round, they have other judges that do it. And so like that's like their spin-off. But anyway, before
But,
we
like,
get,
So what is this? What is
so
this?
Skin Wars is so before
How many seasons are there?
3, but they're working on
There's
the
3
fourth.
currently, and it's on Netflix.
It's on
Yes.
Netflix.
Okay. So before we get like too into that, I do not like reality television necessarily. Like,
Necessarily, depending on what it is.
yeah. So I don't like the
feel like everybody says
Kardashians.
that.
I don't like the freaking Bachelor, nothing like that. The reason I like Face Off. I like this. There's a Steve
Nicolas
Harper-
Cage and John Travolta.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good movie.
No. So these are
Reality,
like
though.
these are reality shows that are like art competitions. Like,
Okay.
the Face Off one is like they're
They
the
paint their face?
kind of, but they do like the prosthetics. They do like kind of
like
what you see in
Hollywood
horror
makeup
film,
and
exact
all
Hollywood
that.
makeup
Like
stuff.
masks.
And then they all compete. And so I like those because there's like a little bit of drama they have, but it's more focused on the art itself and like these cool things that like even in Skin Wars, like you see a little bit of drama every here and then, but it's focused on their work and like the really cool artwork that they do, like on the body paint.
So it's like all, like, that's exactly what it is, body paint. Like,
Yeah.
Head
And
to toe, 360.
Is that how you get the blue people from Avatar?
yeah.
Kinda.
You would not believe this, but yes.
Oh, okay. Right on.
But like one of the cool things is they have to do camouflage ones. And it's
What?
crazy. Like so the first one I saw
That's
they-
like PETA in the Hunger Games.
No, and that's exactly what it is. In some of them, like me and Arjun were like, I can't see the
Where's
person.
the
Because they did one in a toy
Yeah.
store, and the dude, like, you can't see the model at all. You're like,
The person is literally like standing up against like puzzles and board games and stuff.
all
and,
different colors.
and you know they have to paint it so that the model basically disappears into the background, and somehow you get enough detail.
it's crazy. And they did one like
It's ridiculous.
outdoors. They did a nature one. They did one in the toy store, and then the original, the first one they did in grocery shop. And the girl that won it, she did a girl against wine bottles. The only thing that gave it away that it was a person is in the chest. Some of the wine bottles kind of bowed out a little bit.
Ooh.
Well, that's
But-
like the crazy thing, because the grand majority of the models are female, so it's
Mhm.
like they're having to work around like the contouring of the body, like,
Alright, it's a lot
you know, the
different
press, the
than-
curves, and everything, and making sure that like it still looks straight,
Like, straight
when you
on.
look at it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just like ridiculous because
That's even harder.
The
I can't do good lines on a piece of
on
paper.
straight flat paper.
No.
Over like
In
curves.
The dude that kind of
Insane.
came in second season, there were soup cans, and his model was against soup cans, and you like can't see her, and you're like, what is going on? Like, and so that was like one of the main things where it's like crazy. But so those are the only like reality. I don't really like any other reality.
You ever
shows.
seen Storage Wars?
A little bit, yeah.
You don't like them?
That one's alright. I used to watch like American Pickers.
Oh, I've heard about that.
So, like,
Hoarders? Oh my
yeah.
god, you guys seen Hoarders?
I've never actually seen it, but I'm
I'll
like
show you
aware
the
of
link.
it.
See, so I watch like stuff like that, or like the Pawn
Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars.
That was
Like,
yeah. We've
that
been
one's-
there before.
oh really?
Yeah, it's in Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So really-
sell anything?
Did I sell anything? No. Probably would have been like, here's $2. No, just
Right.
kidding.
But
It's
no,
actually
so-
really smaller than it looks like
Yeah.
on TV. Like that area is really small.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I'm
Camera can do a lot
Camera,
of magic.
like,
If they don't know
it
right
can-
now, we're literally, this is the entire
We're
room
actually
right
in a
here.
4-foot closet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's how we get away.
Yep.
But
That's the tricks you can do.
seriously, I actually lay down. I can't lay down.
Also, there's actually nothing below this. We're just literally hanging through,
Yeah.
like, into the ground.
Yeah, well,
We're standing in a hole.
now they know all of our magic.
Now,
Sorry.
see, I'm touching the ceiling.
You can't quite see it, but it's-
We're not gonna lie about that because
Yeah.
no one would believe that Dylan could touch the ceiling.
Yeah,
The one thing I see, I see how it is. But no. So anyway, yeah, like I'll watch those. Like I used to watch, like one of the gun ones where they make specialized guns for people on it. Red
Like
Jacket.
custom guns?
Yeah, Red Jacket custom. So like I've watched those kind of shows. I watched one on like, people making swords and old weapons. The stuff I used to really like was it the Warrior one?
Deadliest Warrior?
Deadliest
I was about to ask if you counted that as a
Oh, yeah,
reality
I heard
show.
Yeah. So no, and
Yeah.
see, so I'll watch those. Like I don't like the drama. So and that's why I say like those shows I'll watch all day. But the closest to like drama shows are like these kind of shows where it's a competition, but it's more like I can see, like they're fun to me because it's not focused on the stupid people drama's there, but they don't really focus
not
in on
focused
it a
necessarily on
lot.
the drama.
So, in
so
the
much
last
as
season
opposed
that we
to-
were watching with Skin Wars, there was like this one guy who he considered, like, he's a professional, of course, but he thought that he was way better than he was, and so he'd constantly, it was the way that they would do the editing. It would be like a confessional of him be like, I've got this in the bag. Like, there's no way I'm gonna lose. And then it's just like him in the final two, because they always have like a winner for the round of whatever competition that one was. And it would be like, all right, and the winner is, and then it'd be like the other person, and you'd cut to him, and you'd be like, I can't believe it. What are they looking at? And so he gets like 5 episodes in, and he literally just like doesn't care at the end, and so he's just like,
his exact words were like, I don't care about detail, it doesn't matter.
He was like, obviously what I care about is not what the judges care about, so I'm gonna paint what they want. And then they were still mad about it. So he literally goes like, I just don't care about this competition anymore. And there's this one guy, RuPaul, who is like he's a drag queen.
Yeah, I heard RuPaul's drag race.
And he's one of the judges. He goes off, he's like, how dare you disgrace this competition? And the guy just like leaves.
He just books it. Oh man,
it's so good.
Well, and so that's kind of going. It's like I said, most of the time the models are female, but there were a couple times where they've had drag queens.
Drag from RuPaul's drag.
Oh wow. Okay.
I missed this one, but you said they had sumo wrestlers.
Sumo wrestlers, and then they had the first part of the sumo wrestler one was wrestle midgets. Like midgets that wrestle. So they have to.
Can we use that word?
Yeah, that's what they call them on the show.
Short. Well,
Yeah, really short. But no, it was pretty cool because like
actually a midget show.
Yeah.
It's a reality show.
Yeah.
Little People, Big World, if that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
But no, like that one was cool because they all had their like stage names, and you had to like paint their full body like the stage, like that kind of describe people.
Yeah, I had to describe like the personality, and that's the one thing is like because it's art. There are
That's
times
kind of more subjective.
There are times when I look at it and I'm like, I don't like. It's a good painting, but I don't understand it. Or it'll be the opposite. Where I'm like, that's a fantastic painting. If he doesn't win this round, and then he doesn't because they're like, oh, it was good, but it didn't quite fit in our criteria.
That's funny. The thing, the dude that walked off was like, he had a couple where like no one understood his concept. Even when he explained it, you still didn't understand it. It was like so
what you're explaining
crazy.
to me right now doesn't look like what you're
Exactly.
trying to portray. So
It was like they do ones that are crazy. Like one of the ones that he did, they explained and still know about it, but they had to make it look like a comic book cartoon. What is it called? Where it's like dark lines.
It was. They had to do like
I can't remember. I know.
Yeah.
Cell shading. So it's like the 2D, but that looks 3D.
So imagine anyone plays video
kind of like
games.
Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. So like, and there were ones where the people are standing there,
That's kind of
and
cool.
you cannot tell it's a human.
I gotta bring up a picture.
Yeah. Shoot. We should. We'll share one on our social media.
We'll
too.
and we'll put it because it's some of the stuff is like just
That sounds
crazy.
crazy.
Like I said, and we'll put one of the ones on camouflage too because it is really crazy.
Trippy.
But some of this stuff it messes with your eyes a little bit. You're like, damn. And then like the fact like they like this whole sumo wrestler they had to paint in like 4 or 5 hours or something, and they're like it takes like an hour just to do the baseline on because these guys are just so big, and so they had to do like crazy stuff in like little amounts of time, and it's just like a lot of the stuff they do is just amazing, and so that's why I like it is because it's like this crazy, like same with Face Off, like they have like these shortly amount like just terrible time to do these amazing things, and it's just how they do it.
So like, for the 2D one, like this is the guy that won that round.
Holy cow!
And then let's see if I can find it.
That looks like a cartoon.
It's just another example.
What?
This is the one that the guy did and nobody understood. Like,
What was he? Pointillism? What is that supposed to be?
We don't know. It was something like he grew up with sisters, and his sisters maybe it didn't make sense. Anyway, we'll put those up so you understand what we're saying. But so yeah,
That's
like they're these crazy things, and one of the other ones I like, and there's a lot of negative reviews, but they have Steampunk. It's also on Netflix, and that one's kind of cool. I like the idea of it.
What's that?
So you know what steampunk is?
No.
Like it's a Victorian futuristic kind of thing.
Okay.
So like Victorian style, but futurist. It's like future stuff, but it's all still steam powered. So it can, unlike the Jetsons,
kind of like Bioshock.
Yeah, like Bioshock. So you know how like the Jetsons futuristic is like floating.
Right.
Theirs is like if it was futuristic and you had floating stuff, but it looked Victorian style and thing was still steam powered. So it's cool. It's one of my favorite concepts ever.
Yeah.
And so they have to make things designed on that. And a lot of people didn't like how the judging worked. There's only one season, but that was another one I really liked because like some of the stuff was just so cool that they do. And so, and I like this one had a steampunked one for Skin Wars. It didn't turn out that great. I think Face Off has had a steampunked challenge as well. But so those ones are like that's why I like them because you're more focusing on the really cool art. And for me, like being not a great artist, but an artist, and I like art and stuff like that. It's really cool to see how like they are trying to do shows to kind of, I guess, highlight it more and see how awesome it is. That's why I like the face paint, because for me being such a movie person, I saw
you
that.
gotta get behind us.
And I saw that, and like the people judging that is like one of the dudes is the guy that did like the face, like all this stuff for Hunger Games, and he's done tons of horror movies. So they have people in the industry doing it.
Oh, that's cool.
And so like with the face off one, it's just crazy because you get like these people that are teaching you, and it's just some of those things like they give you a challenge like make an underwater creature kind of thing, and it's like they come out and you're like, holy shit, like that looks real.
Yeah.
And so like same with like a lot of the stuff in this one, like in Skin Wars, some of the stuff is just crazy. Like you see it and you're like, how do you like you had 2 hours to do that? Like,
Well, that's
How
the
do you
craziest
do
part.
that?
Is they're very time limited. Like
yeah.
the most, you said they had 7 for the.
Yeah, but they had paid like
Sumo
5
wrestlers?
people. No,
Or-
that was with like they had like
Yeah.
5 or 6 people and they had 7 hours. A sumo wrestler they had like 4 or 5.
Usually
hours.
when it's one person, if it's like head to toe 360, it's like 5 hours. But then it's less for other things.
For other- yeah,
They've
depends on
had them too,
sort
like
of
a whole
competition.
person. It's been
Yeah.
less. But then there was in season 2 there's a guy named Avi who's from Israel.
Israel.
And he like finished so fast. Like he finished like a half hour to an hour before everyone. And then you're like, oh, he had like an hour less, and his stuff was like some of the most detailed stuff. And you're like, how is he doing that? Like one girl had like the ability to take 30 minutes away from someone.
What?
So she took it,
Statistic.
right? So she took it 30 minutes away, and the girl's like, why didn't you take it for him? And she's like, he doesn't, like, it's not he's done anyway. Like, that's not helping
It's like,
anyway.
2
Yeah.
hours you need? I'll be done.
And so,
now.
like,
Yeah.
the way that the show is set up, it's like you do like a mini challenge where it's typically easier. It's like only focus on the face, or only like there was one where they had to use like feet to make like art and stuff like that.
It's,
And then whoever wins that usually gets an advantage. It's typically something like, oh, you get to choose your station first, or you get to choose your partner for this, whatever.
Okay.
And then they do the like big challenge, which someone's eliminated, and it's always like kind of looking at that challenge specifically, which means a good artist can get out just because they had one like bad day, but it's like somebody else gets, ekes through, even though you're like that
Yeah,
person was
that person
definitely a
wasn't
better
as-
artist
yeah.
overall than the person who stayed.
and I think you see more like you see more of that like kind of mid show because in the
Yeah.
beginning of they don't really start doing team stuff till mid show, but at the time of mid show, almost
You
everyone
already
there
have an
is
idea
really
of
good,
like how everybody is.
and everyone there is normally really good. So it is like I feel like a lot of that's our bias because we really like
Yeah.
these certain people.
Yeah.
And then one of them gets out and they're like, well, this girl's stupid and she's in kind of, and that's
She's
more because you
too.
have that connection with these people. And it's like, it's not that they're not a good artist. Because at that point, like, and to start off, a lot of these people are already really good artists. Like,
They're established
you
products.
know, I mean, it is really hard.
They made it on the show for a reason.
Oh yeah, it's not like they just
Like,
handpicked these.
Because it was
people.
really hard. Like, the first guy to get out in season 1, like, he did it because they had to do something that reminds him from the hometown. And he was like, oh, I'm from a football town. So he just did, like, a football jersey on her and then she was in jeans. And he did, like, a belt buckle and jeans. It looked like those jeans.
Like she was wearing.
Oh, it looked like jeans. And the belt buckle even looked like the belly was kind of, like, being pushed in from it. Like, it was crazy. But they were just, like, there wasn't a whole lot of detail up here. And so they got him out. And it kind of sucked because the next challenge the next day, or, like, 2 challenges after that, they had to make clothes.
Oh,
And
he
it was
would've been
like,
perfect.
and it would have been, because like you literally, like RJ saw a clip of the jeans and he's like, are those jeans? I was like, no, it's
Hey,
paint.
I'm gonna buy some of those.
And no, exactly, and that's exactly what they said. They're like, it's just really good, like
But maybe not
really
as
good,
detailed on
but it
it.
wasn't deep, and so he lost. So it's like those are always kind of hard. So like, I want to see how he would have
How he
done,
would've done
for
that
the
other
rest
challenge.
of it. But it is like some of the stuff you see. So like they did a swimsuit one, and like one girl did like a leather swimsuit, black and white, and it looked like I was like, you can't
Looks like
even
cowhide.
Yeah, and it's like.
Like an orca.
No, this was a different one that
Oh,
you
not
didn't
that
see.
one.
Yeah, and it's like you can't tell that that's not material sometimes. Like it looks like they're just wearing clothes.
It really
So-
is crazy the things that they can do.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
makeup,
it's
yeah. Like they can make us look like you. Like if somebody
yeah. Oh
right,
no.
prosthetics and then the makeup and then the
No,
they can make me look exactly like you.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want
Yeah.
to.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the stuff they can do.
No, and it's crazy. So, and like I said, they've had to do stuff using contortionists where they have to have all of them like come together to make one thing. Like one dude had separate animals, and then when you put them all together, they made an iguana, and the dude put his
A
arm
chameleon.
out, or my bad, a chameleon. He put his arm out, and it was the tongue.
Oh.
And so like they've had
I mean,
like
they like. That's the thing is they like the judges like when you can tie a story into it.
Mhm.
As well, and then when you can do stuff like that where it's like, oh, the one guy's making the, however, making the
Mhm.
the head and the mouth, but then it can be like, it can move and someone else's can be, and like,
It's like a competition.
because
Yeah,
there was
like-
another where like she won the second season, but she created like with 5 models created a crab where like 2 of them are like creating the arms, and
What?
then one of them is literally like laying upside down and her feet go over and they're like the eyes, but they can move around.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness. That's
no, it's in
crazy.
season 1. The guy that pretty much came in second, he created like a skull. It was like the skull and the eyes. The back of their head was one eye, back of their head here, and so it would move. And the people that were making like this part of the face would go up, and it looked like eyebrows were going up. And so the skull could make people doing that would make different facial expressions. And it's like 5-6 people's bodies.
I don't
and
know
it's
how they
crazy.
ever like come up with these.
Oh yeah, no,
Well, but
totally.
they-
Because sometimes they're told the day before, here's your theme. You have 5 hours tomorrow to do it, but you get to
You
design
get an
it.
idea of a theme.
But
prior
sometimes
to-
they're just like, you'll learn what the theme is tomorrow, and
And
so
then you
part of your
crush
5
them.
hours is like, how do you come up with what that
Crush
theme
them,
is?
yeah.
It's crazy.
Do
Yeah.
you think some of the like artists and people in general, whether whatever their field is, perform better like with deadlines and like just the crunch time? Like you have 3-hour limit, do what you can. This is exactly what we're telling you how to do. Theme,
I mean,
go.
I feel like they would be better, given more time just because they could complete the details,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely part of it. And I mean, that's part of the challenges, and some people have a really hard time with the time management. Because you'll see people like, everyone
That
else
one
is,
super detailed part, like
Yeah.
right here, maybe the
Or-
face, and then this
Yeah,
That's the
not
thing.
covered
That's the
at
thing.
all.
If you have like a super detailed
Yeah.
part and the rest is not as detailed, then it's like you're not gonna win.
yeah,
you know?
well, and sometimes like other people will have like stuff on other people, and then they're sitting there still trying to position them, and there's like, you're like, you're like an hour or so into it, and you haven't even put anything down. And it's like, dang. And it was like one of those things like Avi, that one character that I was talking about from Israel, like he never bothered. Like there's one challenge where he had to do more hand painting than he's good with an airbrush.
Mhm.
And like he was a little worried about that, but he still got it done in time. And like and everyone was like, I don't understand how he doesn't worry about time ever. But it's like he worked so fast, and he like a lot of it's an air gun. He's really good with the air gun, and a lot of people aren't.
A
good
lot of
with
people
that.
it looks like muddier and stuff.
Yeah,
'cause
and
it's
they're
very-
better at hand painting and just using the air gun for the big space. He can use air gun for every little detail, and it comes out great. Like, and so he's just like crazy good. And so, but that is a big difference I've noticed is normally the people that make it high, like to the higher ones, are really good with an air gun, or have learned how to get good with it, because it's the only way really to get through
get
that time crunch. Because if you're to hand paint everything, it's
To have that detail, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost, like the air gun allows you to have a solid base and then work from there.
Well, you do find a lot of people that do that, like the one detailed piece, and then like the rest of the body is just a solid color, and
what
the
do
judges
judges say about
Judges
that?
don't like that because
Well, no, because
it's just wasted
consistent.
space.
They,
Yeah,
what they say is, I wish the rest of the piece looked as good as this
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know? And so it is like, some of them, or sometimes they're like, you chose safe colors kind of thing, or we know you got done because you used this color palette. So some of the things they say, you're just like,
They always say that like whenever you're given a concept or a theme,
Yeah.
your first idea is the one you should always scrap because that's not necessarily like the easiest or the most
Yeah.
thought of.
well,
So in order to get creative, you got
that happened on one of them. They had to do like pregnant women, and they're
it
like,
was pregnant women, and they had to talk about like life or birth or something like that.
and they told them all to be unique.
be unique, and 3 people of the 4 did the tree of life, and the judges were pissed off.
Yeah, because that's not even that's the
Well,
thing. Like the first
yeah.
thing, they're all like, "Oh, let's do the tree of life."
Yeah.
If that's the first or second thought, then that's the one that's probably the most.
So pretty much
you
the
gotta
one
work
girl
from
won
there.
by default because she did frogs and like incorporated it like
Like
in
a
the
frog
story.
holding like a tadpole or something.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
So they're like, you were creative and you didn't do.
And you didn't do what everybody else
Well,
did. So.
And the thing was, is like they always show it to like at one point one of the other girls looked over and she's like, they're doing a tree too, and she's like, oh, they told us not to do that, and she's like, well, mine's just gonna be better than his and they're not gonna care, and it's like, okay, right there, like
Even
nope.
if that was the case, like the fact that it's the same,
Mhm.
it's like yours isn't as incredible.
It's always funny. Granted, part of it is just because of the edit, but you can tell the judges will kind of typically come about halfway through and kind of like check in on how everyone's doing. Be like, oh, so just tell me what you're going for, and you'll have the person who's like, oh, I'm doing this. You see the judges kind of like, oh shit. And then they'll say something like, just make sure that stuff's symmetrical, and then it'll come out, and then they like walk away. And you're like, okay, that they're not gonna do that because the judge they specifically focused on that in the edit, so it's gonna come.
Remember there was the
That's good.
one.
It's like foreshadowing. This is what they're gonna f up later.
Remember there was the one guy where the judges like told him like don't do that or do this, and he was like, I respect the judges, but I'm a great artist and I know what I'm doing. And they're like, I'm here because I know what I'm doing. I don't need to listen to them. Sure enough, they come up and the judges are like, we told you not to do that. Like
we give you a tip and a heads up.
it's like we literally told you you're not gonna win if you do that.
And then he did that.
And he was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm a great artist. And it's like, he ended up getting kicked off for it. And it's like, pretty much if the people judging your art tell you, don't do this,
The
do
funniest
this.
part really is when the artists and the judges like kind of go at it. It doesn't have most of the time. It's like, oh, I'm super disappointed, but like I know I messed up on that one or something like that. But there are sometimes when it's like they're just straight up like, you have made a mistake,
And they're
you
like,
guys are idiots.
well, and here's the thing, like the one of the judges, what's his name? The one that is a professional.
Richard.
Yeah, he's like a professional painter. Like he does the camouflage paintings. Like, and it's like when they tell him like you don't know anything, and it's like this dude's literally like a world-renowned like painter, and he's more like. Oh, like RuPaul gets kind of real like worked up and like he's just like real boom, and he'll just tell you, and like he kind of has a more stern kind of feel about
He's
him.
probably the harshest of the judges because he is like the most qualified. Like they're all up there, but he seems to me to be the most qualified.
And so he's more aggressive.
We probably should move on to a different show before we beat this one to death. But the only other kind of interesting tidbit with it is the host is actually the original person who played Mystique.
Oh, Rebecca Romaine Stamos?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, okay, that's kind of cool.
Stamos.
She was married to John Stamos.
Was she?
I think she just goes by Rebecca Romaine.
Is she still married to him or no?
No.
Oh.
They were married.
Yeah. No, so it's her. So
That's kind of cool.
And so she understands.
Like undergoing.
She knows it because she was always stuck up.
Yeah, her and Jennifer Lawrence had to go through that. But
Well, Jennifer Lawrence got lucky and they designed an actual just bodysuit she could take.
Right, Rebecca Romaine wasn't given that luxury back in the day. I remember, like, I mean, you can look up those DVDs and in the commentary she would talk about, like, literally,
she would walk on
before
set
everybody's because 8 hours of makeup prior to even doing anything.
Well,
I heard a story that she went on set like the last day of one of them and they like turned her away because they didn't recognize who she was without her Mystique outfit.
Really? Oh, that's funny. And then like that stuff gets stuck in your pores. So, like, even after like they were done like wrap production and everything, she was like, "There's still blue on me everywhere."
Yeah. Well, I imagine every day just being colored blue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But so that's pretty cool too. And her insights normally, I feel like for most. Like people that are hosts, like she more or less knows a lot of how it goes because
she
was a model and one of the people, the first person to actually skin paint her when she was a model is like a guest host on the show sometimes. So like she's done other modeling with that, and so she like is able to kind of, I guess, understand.
She's good at asking. I mean, the judges do too, but she's good at asking kind of the leading questions.
Yeah, because she knows like how the process works.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool.
So. Anyway, that's the one I'm really stuck on,
right now.
And I've gotten RJ kind of.
I'm a little like disappointed in myself at the same time. Like it's really interesting because it's not like a world that I'm kind of like exposed to.
Yeah,
well, that's kind of what you find out. But I know one reality show that you really like is Survivor.
Me, Survivor is my reality show. I watched every single season. We're on season 34 right now.
Holy!
How many episodes is in each season?
It's a bit. 15.
16. Well, so it's typically 39 days, and you do 3 an episode. So.
Like an episode every 3 days. So about.
Well, although I guess technically it's not. It would probably be 12 because they usually do like the last episode is 2 hours, but usually the first one's also 2 hours, so maybe 11, 10.
Yeah.
They kind of mix it up because like.
It's one of the most successful, longest running.
It really is.
Shows.
Like,
how many?
Crazy.
Do they do 2 a year?
Yeah, they do 2 a year, so that it's been 17 years now.
Yeah, I remember growing up like that was.
And it's weird to
like
you look back and it's at some of like the simplicity of the first season.
I'm still Team Rudy from the first season.
Well, like so the weird thing is
got cheated
because you just said like it is
that?
still successful and it is, but like. It's weird to look back at the numbers from the first season. Something like 70 million people watched like the finale of that.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like, an average of like 7 million or something watch it. It's like, but it's still the most successful show
It's on
of its
CBS
day of the
too.
day that it's on at like its especially
time
at its
slot.
time slot.
Yeah, it's
like,
still on at night, right? Like 7
yeah.
p.m. That's the prime
Well,
time.
and I think like it's
Yeah,
one of the real
slot.
competitors in Amazing
Well,
Race.
a few years ago, it used to run on the same night as American Idol. And so American Idol would always get the number one slot for the longest time, but about 2 years ago, when Idol was really starting to decline,
Yeah.
and
Survivor's right back
it
there.
passed it and was number one, and then finally
Damn.
American Idol died off. But
That was another reality show.
I love Survivor because it's a good combination. Yes, obviously it is very centered around human drama, but it's not like the manufactured drama of like
The
Kardashians or
Kardashians.
something like that. It's like
scripted.
it's not scripted.
The
It's
steak wasn't well done.
um,
Kidding.
it's the challenges are always cool to see, and yes, it does get annoying sometimes when the people that you feel are the more deserving ones get voted out. But at the same time, like that shows that the other people are playing because they realize that person would win if
There's a strategy almost like to be liked but not too
Exactly.
liked or too disliked.
because
Or like in season 1, the dude was like, "I'm an amazing fisher. Without me, you can't eat." And he ended up winning because they realized like he's kind of a dick, but if we get rid of him, we can't eat. Like
He was
we
always
can't
naked.
fish.
He
Yeah.
was always naked.
And so it's like
naked
one of
and
those.
afraid.
It's like no, seriously, and that's my second.
That's just
Really, it really is.
That's my second favorite.
But anyway, but that is like if you have a skill like that, you're gonna stay in a lot longer. 'cause
Well, yeah,
you
Unless
pretty
you're
much-
like universally hated. And we're
Well,
like,
it's
F
so
this guy,
weird
we'll do them.
because it just kind of
We don't need
depends on
We
like
don't
the
need food.
season.
We got
Sometimes they'll like vote the strong people out instantly
purpose,
because
right.
they're like, oh, they'll be strong
Right,
competitor down the road. But then like they just keep losing because they got rid of their strong teammates. Sometimes they like hold on to the strong people too long, and then they do start winning a
And
bunch.
then it's like,
I think the most frustrating part to me with Survivor is there was a guy a couple seasons ago. I mean, it's probably actually been like 10 seasons at this point. I don't remember exactly, but he was called Russell Hand, so anyone who knows it will know who I'm talking
oh,
about.
that guy's
But the thing is, he was definitely like pretty cutthroat in the way he played. Like he would burn people's like socks and stuff just to cause chaos.
oh, like see,
And-
start going.
But he would also like straight up just be like, you know, I know you're going for me. You're going home tonight, and it would work out that like that person would go home. And so like he would get to the end, but he kind of played like a bully, so he wasn't the best in his social game. And because of that, unfortunately, the jury was so like butthurt that they gave like the person who basically just took along with him and never did anything. They gave her the win instead, just to like
to spite him. Almost.
and that's the like downside
happen
to
too.
Survivor is thankfully most seasons I feel like we've kind of gotten past that where people are like, hey, it's a game, people are gonna like you know backstab you and stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, sometimes
I mean,
you
that's
have
part
that,
of the process
that
when you have
stuff
people
happen.
voting.
That's
you
also
off.
the process of you being a dick to everyone.
That doesn't
I
mean
feel-
that the person who didn't deserve to win
True.
should win.
But a lot of people have they employ their own strategies in order to.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a risk you take by being the dick.
It is.
You know, so.
Yeah, but you can bully your way to the end. You know, you get everybody else out, but then you're almost in the hands of everybody you bully.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Judges
Like,
you,
it's,
so
it's a risk.
there's a trade-off.
You can get to the end.
So I know it's been so long running. My concern is, would it ever become repetitive? But I know they've done like different stuff, different seasons, like a redemption season or something.
and I
like
actually
that.
have asked the same question.
So like you
They
talk about some
do.
of
The last probably 10 seasons have been a lot more centered around kind of themes. They've done blood versus water. So bringing like the first one was bringing former contestants and then like a relative.
Oh,
So
new contestants?
so it would be like the winner of season 2 came back and her daughter played with her. But the way that they did it is they split it up. So it was all returning people and then all of their
all
like,
the relatives. Oh,
and so the idea was, you know, you can kind of hurt the other team by like,
hurting you.
because it was like, okay, you know, I think that person's a competitor over there. We could vote out her daughter, and it might break like her spirits over there. And
Man, that
and
That's
wow,
bad
this
stuff.
shows like
well, and
human
then the
nature
idea
as
too
well.
was like, if when you get to the merge, like, do you stay with your group that you formed over here, or do you then go back
With
to
your family
to your
almost.
you know brother, to your mother, whatever it is? And then they did one where they split up 3 teams based off like what collar you were, so white collar, blue collar, or no collar. And that one was kind of silly because like the no collars are like super stereotypical. Like, I'm a coconut salesman, I live on a beach. And you're like, oh
I don't know how to
god.
do anything wrong.
They did they did brains, brawn, and beauty, and tried to like mix it up. So you had like the stronger
Like one
group,
set.
the smarter group, and then the group
Good-looking group.
that's good. And
Blondes.
I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, they had
That's
Redemption
fun.
Island, where when you got voted out, you weren't immediately out of the game. You went to an island where you could compete with the next person to try to stay in the game, and eventually you could get back
Redeem
in.
your way almost.
The problem with that was usually it was like you got voted out once for a reason. You get back and you get voted out
for the
again.
same reason.
That would suck.
They've had Exile Island where it was like you choose someone from your team who goes and has to live alone for a day and a half or whatever like that. And one that the season as a whole didn't do too well. I think that was just because of the people, the players.
Mhm.
They had it was called One World, and they had because typically it's like one team has their island over here, one team has their island over here. They're just like really separated.
Mhm.
But this one was literally like
They're all
I'm one team and I live right here. 10 feet away is the other team, and so you could like interact with the other people. And they split it up, guys and girls.
Okay.
And I think that's part of maybe the issue
Right, it
was
didn't work
like
as
the way
well.
that it just didn't work. I would love to see him bring back that idea with maybe just a little bit more interesting people,
Mhm.
because I think it is interesting to actually be able to interact with the other team and be like, I know what's going on over there. I've formed these relationships, and I'm
But I guess,
to go into.
I guess it just made me think about it that normally their only interaction with the other team is the competitions.
Mhm.
I guess that I didn't
Well, yeah, you don't even
comprehend that
know.
until, yeah.
You don't even know who gets voted out until the next competition.
Yeah.
They walk in.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then they've also had like this current season. They call it Game Changers because it's only returning people. Personally, not a fan of the name because there's a bunch of people that it was clearly just like you had to fill a spot and they were willing to come back.
Willing
They're
to
not
come
a
back.
game changer.
Yeah.
They've done like Second Chance where it was former people who made it far but didn't win.
Mm.
I personally like ones without returning players because I feel like you start getting repetitive with the same people. It's like, oh, seeing you for the fourth time, you're really
Probably
boring
not
to
to
me.
me.
Yeah, you haven't won any other time. What makes you think you're going to suddenly win this time?
He's like, I'm gonna change my
Technically,
attitude.
the odds
I'm
are in your
nicer.
favor. The more you do, the more chances. But
Yeah, but if you're a dick every time, you know.
so I don't know. I
can't
like
change
it.
my ways.
I
I'm just a
think-
dick naturally.
I think with
You're a
that
great
one,
guy, but your personality sucks, so we're gonna vote you up.
what holds the show together is the host Jeff Probst.
And he's been the same guy through and
And
through,
like
right?
I was saying, yeah, with Rebecca Romaine and Skin Wars, he is very good at asking leading questions and bringing out like the drama or what's going on. And I think if he ever left, the show has to end because I don't think the show could ever exist without him as the
Yeah.
host. That being said, I bet they probably have at least another 6, 7, 8 seasons probably.
They would try. They would try to make
They'll keep
I
going
really
until
do
it
s-
eventually dies.
I do see one like that kind of show like that in Amazing Race being one of those shows that probably will be one of those ones that just keep going because I do.
Mhm.
I mean, I do feel like they are very very intriguing to watch. But like I said, like I've seen season. My biggest problem now is I was telling you I watched season 1 and I loved it. I didn't watch it when it came out.
Aren't these on Hulu?
Well, see, so this is where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Is I watched season 1 on Hulu and I was like, great, but it goes from season 1 you can watch and then it skips to season 20.
You gotta pay for 2 through 19, sir.
Are they actually on Hulu for 2 through 19?
I'm just joking. I don't
no.
know. That's what I'm asking.
No,
because I
they're
know
not. So you would
the
have
way
to
they
go
do
and
it-
buy them somewhere.
Well, so CBS will stream all of them if you join their like CBS All Access
Right,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
So that was just like my thing was like I got super into season 1 and then it was like, oh, like it kind of promotes season 2 at the end and then like I went to watch
Don't
it and
do
it's like
season
season 20 and it's like I really felt like I wanted to watch them all because I know it's not one of those shows you have to follow season by season, but it's one of
Well-
those things if I'm going to watch, I want to sit down and watch.
Right.
And showing me season 1 and then jumping to 20.
because
it's
again,
just like-
it's a very different game from what it was.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can see the progression of how it changes.
Exactly.
Or else it'd be too repetitive, and then
And for me,
wouldn't have
that's
the same
not-
viewership.
and I'm not saying it's a bad show, but for me, that's not exactly one of the shows I'm going to sit down and buy
No.
seasons,
I've
2 through 19.
I've never rewatched a season because I
Yeah.
enjoy them at the time and like I would like to try out for the show. I just never have.
That'd be cool.
But I don't. There are the people on there. It's like you could say, okay, here's the name of a season. What season was it? Where was it? And who won? And they'd be able to tell you. Like I can't tell you that. I
Do
can.
you have to do that to get on?
No. But I'm saying there's people who can. Do
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah.
For me, it's just like I love the show, but it's
that's
like
a lot of
there's a lot of honestly pretty forgetful like
seasons too.
winners and yeah, seasons in general like
Some
kinda
are as
like,
strong
okay.
as others.
yeah.
I remember the first season where mostly because I know right after he got ducked for not paying taxes on $1 million he won, and he got
Well, not
fired.
immediately. He actually played again, and then it was after that he.
Oh, did he not pay taxes on both?
Never,
Well, no, he
never
didn't
duck
win,
your taxes,
so-
guys. I'll
Yeah,
come
pay
back and
taxes.
get you.
But I just remember people talking about that. But so yeah, it is one of those shows like I really want to kind of get more into, and it's like I've been watching with RJ when he's watching, but it is one of those like I really don't want to sit down and pay through seasons 9,
Yeah.
2 through 19. Just gets really like buying seasons is like on shows I have to really like the show like
You don't have to buy
Firefly.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
like Firefly is one of those
That's
shows
a
like
lot
I
of
bought and I
there's
really
only
like it.
one.
that
It's
makes
like-
it easy to buy.
I bought and like I'm trying to get all
No,
the
there have been so
Simpsons
many
and
fan
stuff.
petitions to try to bring that back. Even Joss Whedon's like kind of commenting on here and there.
yeah.
Beyond
Fillion was gonna buy it and been like, I'll just pay for it.
He's
and then
busy.
we'll-
I think they canceled Castle, but he was busy with that show
Yeah.
forever too.
So, but anyway, so like I feel like there are certain series that you can buy and it's totally fine.
Mhm.
I don't know why you'd want to own Survivor.
Exactly. Like, you're not gonna go back and watch.
Because the tricky thing
It's a
with,
game
with a
show.
show like that is you know who's gonna win once you've watched it once. So I guess like the only interesting thing would be like, okay, let me like analyze their
The
game
path
or
to
something.
victory, kind of.
But yeah, like I don't know why you would. I guess for me it would be like, okay, knowing who wins the second season. It's been so long since I watched it. It could be interesting to go back and see how they get there
And so you can
for
see
some of
how
those
the
earlier
shows
things. But
evolve.
I'm not gonna just rewatch this current season like immediately,
Yeah.
if ever.
I think the closest to Survivor owning it that I have is I have all the seasons of Gilligan's Island.
I don't think that's quite the same.
Do you?
It's like they bring the same people back every time.
Really, the
They don't
only
leave the island.
to kind of go, you mentioned it, Amazing Race. It's one that I kind of have watched off and on. I kind of fell like I love that it's like a travel show at the same time because
Yeah, 'cause
you
you're
get like
going-
that and you get the information and that would be another cool one I think to go on. I think the downside is because you're so focused on the race, you wouldn't really get to truly enjoy everywhere you go.
No.
But yeah, I dropped off for a couple seasons. They've kind of started adopting the like, let's try to mix it up a little. Like a few seasons ago, they did one where it was like half the teams were people who knew each other, and then half the teams were like single people who were like paired together with the idea that it was like a blind date thing.
That's funny. Hey, you want to go on a date? Oh, but we're gonna try
you're
across the
going
world.
around.
We're
Well,
in a
so
freaking
and
race
then
right
this year, it's all
That's called speed dating.
pretty much.
In 5 different countries.
Except I don't think you can count speed dating if you're on a 10-hour flight.
That's true. That's true.
Actually, it's a lot of time.
Sure,
to,
you get to know the person that you.
But you can do it on the plane.
So
Wow. I love it.
this year it was everybody was individuals, and it was just like you they did one challenge, and then the order you finished that challenge on was the order you got to choose who your partner was going to be.
Okay.
And so you have some teams that are like super strong, and some teams that just like argue the whole time because they're not like a good
They're
fit
not
at
them.
all. And so I really only restarted watching that because last season was they had a bunch of like social media people, so they had a bunch of people from YouTube. And
Oh, really? Like when
they
she
had
started
a group from. They had Bernie and Ashley from Rooster Teeth, and I love Rooster
yeah,
Teeth.
yeah.
So
Ashley's Bernie's fiance. In case you were wondering. That wasn't
Okay.
a bipolar moment at all. Go on.
That was like a little asterisk at the bottom when you read something like, just so you know. That was great.
and then
I
that's the
just
one
had
where
a lot
you're
of
just
energy
like,
and I
I'm not going to
shouldn't do
spend the time to read that.
Right.
Nobody cares.
Like, I don't care about you guys.
But so those
Sorry,
are
no.
That's what I'm here for.
those are the two reality shows that I watch. I guess. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Like, when I was Naked and Afraid is probably like my.
So
Like
that
survival
one they're
shows.
like alone on some desert
So,
place. They're naked.
pretty-
They have to survive for
They
like
drop
a month.
them.
Are they
no, no.
afraid to?
Is that implied? Or?
So they drop them in an area.
Is fear
Yeah,
required?
it's probably. I forget how many days. I think it's like.
Sorry, you're too brave for our show.
You're not afraid enough, so you're not
Yeah.
gonna make the cut.
So they get people that like you have to qualify for it. You have to have
If
some
you want to
kind
be
of
naked.
yeah, you want to be naked, but you have to have some kind of survival expertise. And so they pair
Male and female.
male and female normally. their first meeting is literally like they're both dropped in different areas, and they just meet and they're like, I'm guessing you're my partner because you're the only other one naked.
I watched this show like once on the airplane like to San Fran a few months ago.
And it's like their first meeting is like, I'm guessing you're my partner because you're naked as well, and it's like, yeah. And
No, I live here actually.
Yeah, no. What are you talking about? Why is there a camera crew with you? What's going on? But no, yeah.
Imagine if like an actual tribe like just came upon that, like
Right,
two
it's
naked
just-
people and a bunch of camera crew, and they're like, what?
This is crazy.
That
They'd
would
probably
be a
get
twist.
speared.
That'd be-
They'd get killed.
That'd be a good twist.
Definitely killed.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
So-
I'm all over the place.
no, it's great.
Distracting.
But so anyway, so yeah, like they meet and then they have to like pretty much a certain amount of time they have to survive, and they're pretty
Well,
much
let's
getting.
choose to stay where they're at.
So they have to get to a destination, pretty much. It's kind of like you're here, and by the I think 29 days. I think it's 29 days.
Yeah, it's just
you
kind
have
of
to get to this area for them to pick you up. If you're not there, you're not getting picked up. They say you're not,
You
but
die.
I really feel like they'll still have to pick
Well,
you
some
up.
people exit the show early because
So-
of like.
Either they
health-
can't handle it or
Right.
health reasons.
Or
like 90% of the people that get off that show is more like, I'm thirsty. There's river water. I'm gonna drink it. And their partner's always like, we should not do that, and we should find a way to make fire first. And they're like, I don't give a shit. And then they like drink it, and then they get like dysentery or something.
Yeah.
So it's like 90% of the people, it's because they don't want to wait patiently to make a fire and boil the water. And what it is each person gets one thing. So like
Oh, they get like one item.
one item. So some people, like, you kind of gotta hope that one of you's like, I want a knife, and another one's like, I want flint. But sometimes, like, sometimes,
Doesn't work that way.
well, and it's, you
It's like
want a
that
pot
question
too.
where they
both
always
bought
ask you,
a
like,
knife.
if you could have any one item and you're stranded on an island, like,
I brought a book.
I want a boat.
Yeah, I'm both.
I'll take the boat.
Yeah, so I
Or a
can
book.
yeah. So like sometimes like you get the person that asks for a pot, which is nice for the water,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can boil it, and then a knife. But then you have to really hope that one of you two can start a fire.
Dude,
Without
this is
flint.
I think the best training you could have going into this show is just watch Castaway.
Just how did
It'd
he
be like,
do
you know what, I'm gonna do-
I brought an ice skate just in case you need a tooth out.
I brought a volleyball. That's all I need, bitch.
I got
Vince
Wilson.
Wilson.
He's my buddy. And no, so it's like sometimes it's just like terrible matchups. And,
like, cause you got somebody who's like so into it and ready. And
well, and then
for
you get a
survival,
lot of
somebody
it.
who's
It's like
very
the
unaware.
really like kind of manly men, and then like the not to be against feminist women, but you get the more feminist women. And
He's just insulted her.
You did. You like. I'm not gonna insult you, but here's what.
no, I'm just saying it's like you get that manly man, and
I
he's
get what
trying to
you're
take control, and the girl's like, hey, I can do things too. Stop being a dick.
Yeah. Like,
And
speak
it's
to me.
it's totally kind of like true because he's not communicating. He's kind of taking control, and the woman's like, I actually know how to do this stuff,
If you
and
just
it's not your
ask me or
specialty.
talk to me,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes they do mash heads, but it's kind of like, and it is.
Well, that's
kind of-
entertaining in itself.
It
too,
is
you
kind
know,
of
that's part
funny
of the
because
drama on the
they
show.
have to like, oh, you. Some people are just like, there's been times where like I'm sleeping in a different area, and it's like, all right, have fun with that, and those normally
You're
never
there.
last.
You're
Yeah.
on your own.
Whatever. But it is like one of those shows that it does get a little crazy at times. Like I saw him like there's one of the ones where they're in a desert and the one dude's like a vegetarian, and so he's fine like just eating leaves and like roots, and she's out in the sun having to hunt and stuff, and he doesn't want to help with anything. He's like, I'm not.
gonna eat that.
And like he doesn't want to help with anything. He's just kind of like
That'd be the worst
lazy.
partner ever.
And she ends up getting heat stroke and getting knocked out, and she has to get like hospitalized and like airlifted out. So he's by himself, but he's just like eating leaves and roots, and he's fine. And he makes it to the end, and it's
Dang.
like, he doesn't care. And so you do get a lot of those, and
Did you just do a PSA for vegetarians? Is that what you just did?
right. And like,
Eat meat.
but one of them,
PSA.
the dude was like, I'm hungry, so he gets like a stick, ties a rock to the end of it, pretty much, and goes and beats an alligator to death.
What?
Dude,
What?
Like, he
That's on
screams-
camera?
So yeah, he just
He
walks
beats
up
an alligator
and he's
to death?
boom, 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 and he just like drags it over, and
It's a
it's like
bull
cuts
smash.
off its head. Like
God, what?
sometimes they get machetes. I think he
Oh, they
had a machete. No, that's yeah. So he had the rock to like originally knock it,
Oh,
like
man.
kind of like disorient it. Then he got the machete and just started hacking it. So no, and that's what they'll. It
That's
gets
hardcore.
pretty crazy sometimes. But there are times where like I've seen them where like they can't like they're in the rainforest and everything's wet and they didn't get.
When they can't create a fire.
Yeah, and it's like that. I'm like that would suck. Like, and you know, like no one, like only skilled people can start a fire. and both of them don't really have that.
See,
skill
that's the
set.
one thing, like, whether it's Survivor or whether it's that, I feel like if you're going on a show like that, learn to take fire without flinch.
And that's the thing, is most of them, like, kind of know how to do
Rub
it,
some sticks.
but it's like,
Kind of is not a good
but here's
enough.
the thing, in a rainforest, like, they
There are
can do it in
tribes
the
of
woods.
people who live in rainforests.
No, they
and
do.
make
But
fires.
do you know how many different like environments there are and how like different it is material-wise? Like to learn all those is just ridiculous.
True, but like a lot of the people going in, like RJ said,
Yeah,
you
all
plan
you know-
thinking like, hey, I'm gonna go on the show, but I'm not gonna do any
See,
research into how I could
You know,
survive
and
help
that's
myself.
like most of the people do like the I need to shrink in my stomach kind of thing and learn to eat less and do more in calories, and that's what they focus on. And then they get in there and there's just like so much more, and they're just like
It's easier to say it than when you're going through it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then at the end they give them like, well, at the beginning they give them a ranking, and then at the end like you get a ranking. And so sometimes like there's two really high ranking people, and then you get those people that are like, I'm like the Boy Scout level kind of thing, you know, and they're like a lower ranking, and it's like that just sucks because if like you're this person like
You get a high ranking guy and a low
and really low ranking, and it really shows. Like
Yeah.
these people are like, I've never done anything like this before in my life, like, and it's like, dang, that sucks. Like, because you don't have shoes or anything, and some
Right,
people
literally
just like
just
don't.
all out.
You know, you'll have people like they have to move, and they're just like every 3 seconds, like ow, 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 and then like there's been one where the dude like made shoes, and it was like, do you want me to make you a pair? And they're like, no. And then they're just sitting there complaining the whole time that they don't have shoes, and he's like, try to
I'll
make
make
you
you
shoes.
shoes if you just shut up.
I'll give you mine like right here. And so it is crazy though. Like I think one of the biggest things on that show though is mosquitoes. Like
Ooh,
every
yeah,
time there's mosquitoes,
yeah.
they're like, you've never been annoyed or in pain until like your vag or junk is just bitten by
Your
mosquitoes.
whole body.
Yeah, and like for me, I'm like that would be it. Like if my junk is full of mosquito bites, nope.
Nope.
Like that's kind of like I mean I love camping, I love being in the wilderness, and I would totally be willing to learn stuff like that. But it's like if bugs start biting my junk, I'm like I'm not dealing with this shit. Nope. I will starve, I will freeze, but I will not deal with mosquitoes biting my dick.
That's how you get all these other crazy, stuff.
Yeah, and you get mosquito AIDS.
Well,
I think we just came up with the challenge for him. He just said he's willing to starve and freeze, so let's create. Let's basically
did say
follow
that
him around with the camera in the wilderness and see what he does.
for like 10 days.
Preferably clothed. I don't.
Well, like, be clothed.
I don't want to deal
bug
with,
spray.
with blurring that out.
I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, alright, that's fair.
But you can't eat, and we're not gonna make you a fire. So,
Well, he can only eat stuff that he kills.
ooh, I like that.
Do I get my shotgun?
No.
No, we'll give you a pocket knife.
Well, that's cheap.
Your knife is big.
Good luck.
And you get one match and no strike pad. Have fun.
I guess if we told him he could bring one thing and he brought his shotgun, then he's
No
not gonna
shells.
have ammo.
No
because that
shells.
would be a second thing.
That's true. That's two.
Unless I have the ammo in there already.
Like-
Okay, so
One.
one single.
Yeah, you have one shot.
Actually, how many can yours hold?
You can hold 6 and then 1 in the chamber, so 7 altogether.
No, that's two things.
That's 8
Oh,
things.
but I
You're
will.
right.
7.
I will smuggle shells up my butt.
Wow. The lengths you would go
Well,
to.
hey, if he was willing to do that, I ain't checking.
Just saying.
Right?
If it's life
So-
or death, there's shells going up my
I
butt.
feel like we've kind of pushed you out of this.
No, not at all.
No, see, Jake
What do
gets
you watch?
Jake gets dragged by his
I get
lovely
dragged,
wife
yeah.
by like
Like the Real Housewives and shit.
Real Housewives,
Never watched any of that.
what is it, the teen pregnancy
Oh
ones?
my god, Teen Mom.
Teen
That's
Mom.
crazy.
Had to deal with watching the
Dude, some
Kardashians.
of those
with
moms, I'm not gonna touch on this long because it's stupid, but some of those moms literally wonder why their lives are bad when they've had like 3 kids by 3 separate men and they're still doing the same stuff. And they're like, I can't believe this! Ah! They're screaming all the time and there's like fights. And I was like, well, maybe if you just, have you heard of contraception? have you thought about maybe not like trying to marry the first guy you're dating after the last guy? Or
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
No, because I remember there's been times where we've been partying and your wife, for whatever reason, when she drinks, was like, I need to watch Kardashians or I need to watch The Bachelor. And me and
Not
Jay
Bachelor,
like,
she doesn't like Bachelor. She
no,
was
not
Bachelor.
anymore. I thought at one point there was a Bachelorette. I thought she watched.
I was more into that like way back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, but there's times where like me and Jay are like over there like drinking fun, and then we look over and Tina's watching Teen Mom, and we're like, how did we get stuck
yeah.
with this? It's
Where?
like-
Why didn't we hide the remote?
So then we end up drinking more because that's the only way to get through that
Get rid
show.
of that
Yeah, there's
stuff.
nothing really.
Pretty much
a lot of-
TLC is filled with just garbage.
I remember in high school.
That's right, I'm calling you out, TLC.
Shots fired. What, you don't want to associate that? I'm in. Shots fired.
I don't want TLC burning my house down. Even though we live in the same house, so I guess it's happening either way. So
There was this one show I remember like way back in the day. It wasn't on long, but it was called The Mole. Did you ever guys see that? So basically, it was like this game show, kind of like Survivor, but you'd have like a group of like 10 so people, and you'd have certain challenges and tasks that you have to complete over time. But the main task was the task that you would complete would build a pot. Basically, money that would increment. Like if you complete this challenge, you get an additional 25,000. You do this, an additional 30. But the main concept was that the entire time, after every round, you would answer 10 questions, and you'd have to think. You'd have to basically guess who was the mole, because one of the 10 of you, was secretly
I
the
do
mole and
remember.
like trying to always like subtly sabotage the success of the challenges. So that one I really enjoyed. I wish they ran that one a little longer, but.
I feel like there's a lot of shows that have like a good premise, but it's very hard to kind of break through nowadays. Like,
Yeah, especially
there was one I remember.
there's so many different reality shows. It's
I didn't actually ever finish the show because I just kind of like missed the last couple episodes and just never went back to watch them. But it was called Hunted. I think that's what it was called.
Is that the one where they hunt people?
Sort of. So it was basically actually like Hunger Games style in terms of everyone was just in like these. They were put in the woods, you know, with certain boundaries, and you were partnered up with someone. So it's usually they knew each other. But the idea was you had two teams who were like one team who was the hunters, and if they tagged you with, they had like these things that they could place on you, and you had a vest that would start blinking when you got tagged. And if either your person on your team got caught, they would take you to like a cage area, and they were required to capture two teams within whatever period, and you were, as the people who were being hunted, had to escape the entire time.
If they caught you could
And
you
so the
escape?
way it was if they captured two people, then the two teams would go, and the other teams as a whole would vote which of those two teams deserves to go home. If you only caught one, then the hunters were the second team who was in there because they failed to get two to fill those
Oh, I
spots.
get what you're saying.
If they didn't catch anyone, they just automatically went home because they were out.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of an interesting thing because it's, again, running through the woods, and like you couldn't stand still for more than like 5 minutes because everyone had like these
Tracers or something?
well, you had like these, basically like a phone on your wrist, and so if somebody would stop moving for 5 seconds, they would appear on the map as to where they were.
Oh, I get what you're saying. That's
But then there was also kind of the Hunger Games style was, we're revealing on your map an area where you can go to get an advantage. So if the hunters got it, would be like for the next 30 minutes all teams are revealed, or if I'm a hunted person and I get the advantage, it would be like choose a team to reveal on the map for the rest of the round or something like that.
besides yourself, and then
And so like they had stuff like that, but like at the same time the hunters could be like if they could figure out where it was, because they weren't usually told where it was going to be on their map, they could like just kind of camp it out and be like, all right, they're going to come to it. And it was an interesting premise, but they never had
yeah,
like,
it never actually took off.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those are.
or like the take the money and run. Did you guys ever?
What's that one?
It was like, a team of two would like get a briefcase of money, and if they could escape for like 72 hours from like
Oh, I did hear
professional
about
like
this. Like cops and like
then
you get to keep.
there was
the
a
money.
team of like cops
Yeah.
or like detectives and stuff. If the people could
Steal the
escape
money.
from them for 72 hours, they got to keep the money. If not, they lost.
That'd be so
Isn't
easy.
that crazy?
I feel like only like one or two teams ever.
Yeah, I feel like that'd
finished.
actually be harder.
Dude, I would find a base on a Chinese restaurant and I would just chill.
Well,
There's probably like certain rules where you have to stay on the move.
I don't remember what the rules were. Like,
I do
you
remember
couldn't
hearing about
leave
that
like
show.
the city or something
Yeah.
like that. Or
Like you had to evade, but you couldn't like just
Yeah.
leave the country
Or,
the
like-
city or something.
I didn't watch any of it, but there's a very similar kind of blend of the two that I was just talking about that my parents were watching, where it was teams as like a whole were trying to escape and for like a week or something like that, but it was literally like the way they would do it was like, if I buy a burner phone or something and call Dylan, then it's like they literally go like, okay, now we know like what phone to trace or whatever, like, or it was something like, you know, maybe somebody turns them in or whatever. Like it was just like, again, kind of an interesting premise, but like
Never really.
it's just so hard to get like a good show like that, I guess, anymore.
See, but
Yeah,
yet the
they don't
Kardashians stays on. You're probably thinking, Dylan, that's offensive to the Kardashians. Yes, I hate them.
It's okay. They deserve the
You're
hate.
not the only one. So not a lot of people like them, but
I think the thing that annoys me is they get paid a lot of money
they do.
for being just stupid.
And they get more and more spin-offs all the time. It's not fair. It's not fair.
It's just.
I'm not. So I guess like in closing, let's say favorite reality show, and then the kind of reality show we hate the most. So for me, Survivor, and then I hate the like engineered kind of like
Drama.
family drama
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I would say for me, I think picking one like I do like the kind of Survivor shows, or like as a Face Off would probably be like the art kind of ones where they're competing to show whose art is better. Like that's mine. My least would be like the Bachelor, Bachelorette. Like I can't stand that stuff.
Not a fan of American Idol, that kind of stuff either.
Yeah, see, I can't. I like The Voice, but I can't stand the
They have so many different. voice shows,
these
man.
people are gonna find love. Kind of. It's like I tried watching The Rock of Love once when I was in high school.
Oh my god, I watched that.
It was so dumb. It's like they had Rock of Love too, because the girl that won the first one was pretty much like just left him shortly after, because
Those never last.
and that's I feel like,
weird.
you know, yes, dating is hard, but that is not a solution to it's all fake.
Again,
Like,
I keep every time I feel like someone brings up The Bachelor, like you think about it, really all it is each girl wants to be told that they're better than the other ones. They don't actually care about the guy at all.
yeah.
It's more like the idea of the guy, because you have all these people that are like, here's the guy, and this is the only guy. You gotta like him. And then the guy or the vice
then you
versa
think
is like,
about
here's
it
a ton
too,
of
like,
girls.
Even if you did actually kind of genuinely like him, then they show the show and you see all the behind the scenes stuff that he did with all the other girls.
You're
It's
like, I don't like him anymore. You know. So
Yeah, no. So
true.
this, I can't stand that kind of show. Like, so I don't mind competition shows, but to me, that's not.
That's not even
it's
supposed to be competitive.
it's-
though.
yeah,
but it isn't. But the way they
I guess
they
it is
sell
kind
it
of,
is-
but yeah,
because you either get a rose and you get a rose, but if I don't get a rose, we got some drama.
Yeah, and I think like that's why I like stuff like Face Off, because it's like the judgment is based off their talent in this like amazing craft that to me I find very interesting.
Right.
Compared to who's willing to give this dude a blowjob first and him pick you. So
right.
you know, and to me, so that's the difference. It's really, I like the ones based on skill, and they're not focused necessarily around the drama between the people as much as they are like the actual stuff they're doing. Like I said, that's why I like Naked and Afraid too, because it's two people like showing a skill, kind of, you know.
True.
But so yeah, those would be my favorite, and my. I mean, Kardashians is like the lowest of low for me, but I don't know what it falls under. But I can't stand like the Bachelor.
For sure. No, I'm kind of similar with you guys. I don't like the manufactured drama. I think good reality shows kind of have that organically built in based on the circumstance, whether it's a competition or certain interactions with like kind of competing behaviors or personalities. But one show, like the reality shows I really like are the Pawn Stars ones. The one I would even say I like more than that one is a Hardcore Pawn. And it's not on, like, that was when we had, like, DirecTV, but it was like this hardcore pawn, because it's, like, in Detroit, and you have all these crazy people coming in and, like, trying to sell stuff. There was one point where they even had, like, because when you have, like, when you do your pawn, you have a ticket, there was this, like, group of ladies that brought in a lawyer that was like, you didn't return our item, and blah, 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 and what the drama was, like, they had, like, literally manufactured a replica, kind of the pawn ticket, but it wasn't the right font, and that's how the owner found out. He's like, this isn't one of our tickets. It looks like it, but it's not, because the font's not the same. It's not the state-regulated type of printer or whatever. But then
Yeah.
like the lawyer's like getting shown up while he's in the store in front of her. And, like there's so much crazy stuff with that.
Hardcore.
See that?
Hardcore.
I really like Duck Dynasty too.
Duck Dynasty I've enjoyed a bunch.
Well, I think like
fine.
that's like the family drama, but like their drama is not
It's more playful. And, like, banter
exactly,
and,
because
like,
it's-
pranks, a lot of pranks.
like it's a lot of pranks.
I
And a
can-
lot of them making fun of themselves, not
Yeah.
like.
I can honestly say I've never seen an episode.
It's
kinda funny.
Oh,
It's fine.
I really
It's
like
fine.
Duck
It's
Dynasty.
enjoyable.
Like I said, it's more of a good family nature. Like they're making more fun of themselves and stuff,
Oh.
and it's not like based on like that
yeah.
other kind
Another
of
one I
hateful
would
drama.
say is Maury. Have you guys ever seen that like those
I've heard of it.
afternoon shows where like they do those like pregnancy tests and like prove who the parent is?
Oh, I've
dramatic.
heard.
You are not the father. Those ones are silly too, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's more of like.
But
I wouldn't necessarily.
Judge Judy and
Yeah.
I love me
Chocolate
some
Phil.
Judge Judy back in the
Oh
day.
man, yeah. She's
Dude, I love Judge Judy because she doesn't give a
Probably.
shit. She
no,
doesn't.
she'll call you out on it
she
too.
doesn't-
She'll be like,
she
I don't even
doesn't
like you.
care.
Get out of my courtroom.
You know that like those shows that it's not actually like a legal precedent. Like
Yeah.
she has no real legal.
No, I
say
thought she really was a judge.
I don't.
I think
No,
they are, but I
she
mean,
really is, and those are real cases. It's just they're real minor cases, and you have to agree.
most of them are like over like $1,000, and this
Yeah.
person did pay me.
and you
for it,
have
or I
to
bought
agree
this,
to
and,
be
yeah.
on TV. It's
There's definitely a vein of judge shows then that don't actually have any legal say. Like
There's
you don't
so
actually
many.
have to abide by what's said.
You wanna
Like,
know-
all like the settlements.
You want to know what I never got is Springer. Why would people agree to be on Jerry Springer? Because like the whole premise of the show is people just laughing at how dumb you are. And
All
if
the
you get on
crazy
that
dumb.
show, you're just showing that you're pretty much trash and dumb. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of. He used to be a mayor
Claim to
of some
fame.
city too.
yeah, I know. Springer was like total
Like,
bullshit. Yeah.
he's-
And then he was like, I can make way more money doing this bullshit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I just have to deal with a bunch of crazy people.
Interesting thought I just have. Does MythBusters count as a reality show?
I would say
Yeah, I'd
yeah.
say so.
Yeah, see, and I like those shows. Like,
Yeah, those are
Okay,
interesting
sure.
too.
like I said, any
I'm
reality
upset that they're trying to remake it with new people, but
Are they?
Mm.
I know it's called what the White Rabbit
Well,
something. His old
the
their
White
team.
Rabbit Project.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's
yeah.
their team doing.
but that's
it.
not what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
They're
what's
like
cool.
Discovery Channel is literally they want new MythBusters, so they've created a show called The Hunt for the new MythBusters, and then the idea
It's
is
a little
that
too on
once
the
they
nose.
find them, then they're going to
Little
create
too spot on.
I
MythBusters
like
again.
it. I like it.
It's like you get the
They-
behind the scenes.
they-
of
they
how
never
found
should have.
you.
No one wants to see the MythBusters after Adam. They were, they
were
were the MythBusters.
Why did
Adam
they?
and Jamie.
Why did
Yeah.
they stop?
I don't know the full reasons. Actually, I know that Adam and Jamie didn't get along very well.
Oh, through the whole thing, really?
That's
Oh,
crazy.
I thought they were like best friends. I never.
That's
But
what the
I don't
kid
know
is.
the full reasons behind it.
Mhm.
But I'm sure they probably just had been going for a while and they were just kind of tired of it.
Yeah, probably wanted to quit and move on.
I don't think I could ever get tired of blowing stuff up.
There's a lot more than just blowing stuff
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, but you know.
There's a lot that we don't see that goes
Oh,
into that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like math.
Oh, I hate math. See,
I'll do
like
the
I
blowing
said,
stuff up,
I'm
because
doing
it's
the
all math.
blowing stuff up as long as someone else
As
does
long
the
as
math.
there's
I'll hit
math.
the button all day. But
True.
All right.
So,
Cutting
any
you
last thoughts?
love, peace, and chicken grease.
Wow, how long have you been practicing? Oh.
I got it from The Pest.
I think.
It's a movie with John. It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Ideally, we're going to have a mic next week.
Next week already?
Well, I'll tell you guys about it.
Oh, you knew before he did. I mean, I knew because I live with
I
him.
already talked about
He
Uh,
tossed in his sleep, and I actually listened.
Well, yes,
so.
that too.
there you go. True
But
story.
yeah,
So when
so
you stare at someone when they're sleeping for hours, you tend to get things.
yeah, we'll
That's
see.
fine. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool.
You'll be able to hear us.
It'll be right here, or right.
As far away from Dylan as possible. He's
Yeah,
loud
we'll-
enough.
I'm not loud.
You just
I would-
totally peeped that, I'm
You
sure.
just
I was gonna
totally
tell you to cover your
threw
ears
off
before I did that,
all-
but I realized when I was gonna say it, I had already done the loud thing. So I sincerely apologize
That's
for
why we
Jay
need a
for
mic,
not controlling
because
me.
he
You gotta
always-
dial down his level. You max out all the time.
Yeah, they need a mic, and their mic's just gonna.
We're not in
pick
the
me up.
train station, man.
Okay, so
I don't know that.
We're in a closet. You know what we talked about?